All right. Hello, hello. My name is Lindsay Norman. I am so glad that you have joined me today. We are going to be talking about how to help you and your team increase in their effectiveness in recruiting. And I will tell you that one of the best ways that you can increase your recruiting is to actually focus on it. Now, that might sound really like not very profound, right? So, but that's okay. I'm going to share a tool with you today that I have found has been really, really helpful in making sure that your team is actually spending time developing the skill of recruiting. So let me share that with you today. Okay, so this is a monthly business planning tool that I use. And I like to use it for me and any of the team members who are like, I really want to grow a strong, sustainable, whole business. And so by doing that, in order to do that, so in order to build a strong, sustainable whole business, you want to be looking at all four aspects of your network marketing business. And so four aspects are customer acquisition, which is new customers, customer retention, which is keeping your customers, builder acquisition, which is recruiting or getting new builders, and then of course, builder retention. So when I'm looking at this tool, one of the things that I have found in my experience, I've been in the industry for over 12 years or almost 12 years. And what I found is when you start, in general, most people are going to start in the quadrants on the left, customer acquisition, right? Because when you enroll a new customer or get a new customer, that's like immediate feedback in the brain that I have success. I could do that. So it's like, oh, that's good. Then you go out and you get another customer and you're able to do that. And you might hear a few no's, but you definitely are getting yeses. And so what's happening is because you're getting immediate feedback that's positive, that is telling you that you're succeeding, you tend to stay in those quadrants, like customer acquisition and customer retention, right? Because all of us like positive feedback, right? So the other part of that, though, is generally when you start looking at recruiting builders for the first time, you generally are going to hear more no's. And I know when I was new to the industry, every no that I heard was like a blow to the ego. So when you kind of get that blow to the ego and it happens a couple of times and you're like hesitantly doing it, but then you get another blow, it makes you feel like you're failing, right? And so in general, the brain is designed to keep you safe. And so what you inadvertently do then is create a business that is built on the two quadrants on the left because it's safe and you feel successful here. The issue is when you hang out in just customer acquisition and customer retention, that is an addition strategy. Now, addition in math still grows. That's a great thing. But if you can get good at builder acquisition and builder retention, those are your multipliers. That's what's actually going to multiply your business and help you grow stronger and more sustainable and more successful over time. So what this business monthly planning tool is designed to do is to ensure that you and your advocates or your team members have accountability to grow all four aspects of the business every single month, whether it feels good or not. And one of the things that I have found, especially as it relates to builder acquisition, because that is kind of the quadrant where people get so nervous, and when they get a couple of no's, it really makes them feel like they're not doing great. But when you stick to this business monthly planning tool, it ensures that you are consistent every single month with having one strategy that focuses on builder acquisition in your business. So not only are you now consistent every month where you're just doing at least something in this quadrant, but that consistency develops a skill set over time that ends up growing into confidence. So I love this. And basically what I end up doing is I will work with my advocates or my team members and say, okay, what is the monthly strategy that you're going to use for customer acquisition this month? How are you going to get a new customer? And then we'll talk about that. And they might already have it, what they want. And they might say, well, I'm not really sure how to work with my current customers this month. So I'm like, okay, let's talk about that. Right. But then you go over to builder acquisition. It's like, okay, what are you going to do to acquire a new builder this month? And it might just be following up with some people who, we're thinking about the business, or it might be having that really scary conversation with somebody who you'd really love to have to join your team. Or it might just be holding a business opportunity event where you can invite some people there. So there's a lot of things that you can put in that quadrant, but again, you just need to put one in there. And then of course, builder retention. What do I do with my current advocates or team members to retain them? So when you have a tool like this, it ensures that you are not neglecting any aspect of the business, and it also forces you to be consistent in the areas where you may not have a strong skill set, and it basically is going to build that skill set for you over time because of the accountability that's built in here. I also find that it's really helpful to have this kind of a tool for a newer leader who really wants to be a good leader. They want to be able to connect with their team members, but they really don't know how to coach. And so even when you can coach your new leader how to coach, I think it still helps them feel secure if they have a tool that they can use with their new team members. So this is a great tool for your new leaders to use with their new team members because it gives them something to talk about. So your new leader can have their new team members say, okay, let's brainstorm one strategy for each of these 4 quadrants for you to focus on this month. And then it gives your new leader something to hold them accountable to check in on, to see, hey, what were your results this last month? How did things go for you? And then to look at, okay, now this month, let's put in a new strategy in each of these here. So again, it's creating health. Honestly, it's helping your leaders coach to a whole business and not just to comfortable parts of the business. And it also ensures that all your team members are focusing on the whole business. Now, one little fun extra thing here at the end. Sometimes I find that when a leader is brainstorming with their team member, or let's say I'm having ideation sessions with several of my leaders about different things that could be going into these quadrants, I like to have a section where we can put extra ones for the following months because, again, I don't want it to be where it's really like one quadrant is getting way more attention than the other one. I really want pretty similar, like 1, 1, 1, 1 in each of these quadrants, or maybe 2 strategies each month, but not really more than that. So any extra ideas tend to go down into that strategy idea brainstorming section so that they can be remembered for following months. Now, the last thing I'm going to say about this tool that I really like is in network marketing, as in with any other probably organization industry, there is so much noise. And for me as a business builder, I really want to know, where should I be spending my time? Where are my most important inputs, which is where I can be spending my time to get the maximum output or my return on investment. So I find that using a tool like this helps bring clarity to your team members about where they should be spending their time. I honestly do not spend a whole lot of time on all the noise. I spend almost all of my time on these 4 things right here. And actually, where I'm at in an organization, I really spend most of my time on the right side, and I absolutely love it. But I've done that, and I'm able to be there because I've spent time building the entire business for many, many years. So I hope that having a tool like this helps bring clarity for you, like where should you be spending your time and how can you increase recruiting, not just for you, but also your team members. And I know sometimes it's easy to be like, what is the silver bullet? What is the thing that I can do that's going to unlock like massive recruiting? And I would just encourage you, that doesn't really exist. Generally, what I have found happens is if you can slowly start to spend time on developing that skill of recruiting, where you start to bring in a couple maybe part-time builders or sharers, and then your team starts doing that, that multiplication on your team, even if it's slower multiplication, creates confidence. Now your belief system kind of opens up, and now you're more likely to have conversations with higher level builders. And so that confidence literally fuels momentum. So the shift really comes from simply focusing on recruiting, just like you would new customer acquisition and customer retention. So make it an every month part of the business, just like the easier parts of your business as well. When you do that and you encourage your team to do that, you will start to see multiplication growth on your team, and you will start to see an increase in recruiting.